Welcome to Black Cube Productions 2022. I'm Roger Cluton.
And I'm Cassie Cluton. Before we begin today's very special episode, we want to ask you to hit that like button, share this episode with someone who might connect with our story, and please subscribe to help our show grow.
Today's episode is deeply personal for us. We're sharing memories from a past life that we both remember, a time when we were druids, guardians of ancient wisdom and sacred traditions.
This isn't just a story we're telling. These are our memories, our experiences from lifetimes ago. And as Roger shares his recollections, I find my own memories stirring, my own recognition awakening.
I remember being a fully ordained druid priest, working alongside Cassandra Jackson, a powerful, wise woman who was our spiritual leader and mentor. Cassandra was ancient in knowledge, though not necessarily in years. She carried the wisdom of generations.
Cassandra. Yes, I remember her too. Strict but deeply loving. She had this way of seeing right into your soul.
Together, Cassandra and I maintained the sacred work. We performed the seasonal ceremonies, the solstices when the veil between worlds grew thin, the equinoxes when balance returned to the earth, Samhain, when we honored the ancestors, and Beltane.
Beltane, the festival of love and fertility. I remember that one especially.
We were guardians of the sacred groves, the stone circles that hummed with ancient power. Our hands would trace the carved symbols on standing stones that had witnessed countless ceremonies. We kept the old knowledge alive, the healing arts, the star wisdom, the ways of communing with the spirits of the land.
The sacred groves. I can still feel the moss beneath my feet, the way the ancient oaks seemed to whisper secrets when the wind moved through their branches.
Cassandra accepted students, but she was selective. She trained them rigorously, passing down knowledge that had been preserved for thousands of years. And then one day, she brought someone new to our sacred grove.
I was so nervous that first day. I remember walking into the grove, feeling the power of the place wash over me like a wave.
I saw you before Cassandra introduced us. You were standing at the edge of the circle, and there was this luminous quality about you. Not just your physical beauty, though you were radiant. It was something deeper, a recognition that went beyond sight.
I felt you watching me. Even before I turned to look, I could feel your presence. It was like coming home to something I'd been searching for without knowing I was searching.
Cassandra brought you forward and said, "This is our new student. She has the gift." But I could see it wasn't just the gift of druidry you carried. You had something that made the very air around you shimmer with possibility.
Cassandra taught me everything. How to read the patterns in the stars, how to listen to the voice of the wind, how to work with the sacred stones. She showed me the healing properties of every herb, every flower.
I watched you learn, and it was like watching a flower bloom in fast motion. You absorbed everything Cassandra taught you. But more than that, you brought your own wisdom to it. You had insights that surprised even our mentor.
I remember the first ceremony where you and I worked together. We were passing the sacred chalice during a moon ritual, and when our hands touched...
It was like lightning and honey at the same time. Electric but sweet. I nearly dropped the chalice.
Cassandra noticed. She had this little smile, like she'd been expecting it.
After the formal lessons with Cassandra, I started offering you additional instruction. Not because you needed it, you were already excelling beyond most students, but because I wanted any excuse to spend time with you.
I knew what you were doing, and I welcomed it. Those private lessons, under the starlight, learning the deeper mysteries.
We would sit by the sacred spring, and I would teach you the old songs, the chants that could call rain or bring healing. Your voice blended with mine like we'd been singing together for centuries.
Because we had been, hadn't we? Even then, I felt like I was remembering rather than learning.
The moment I knew I loved you was during Beltane, the festival of love and fertility, when the earth itself celebrates the union of masculine and feminine energies. We were dancing around the sacred fire with the other druids, and you looked at me across the flames.
I remember that look. It was like you were seeing all of me, not just who I was in that moment, but who I had been, who I would be. All of time collapsed into that single glance.
The fire seemed to dance between us, connecting us, and I knew that what I felt wasn't just attraction or even love as most people understand it. It was recognition, soul recognition.
I felt it too. It was terrifying and wonderful at the same time. This sense that my whole life had been leading to that moment, to you.
Our love didn't violate the sacred traditions. It honored them. The Druids understood that love, true love, is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It's creative, it's healing, it's transformative.
Cassandra blessed our union. She said she'd seen it in the stars long before either of us arrived at the grove. She said some souls are bound across lifetimes, and it was her honor to witness our recognition of each other.
We worked together as priest and priestess, husband and wife, soul partners. Our love made our sacred work more powerful. When we performed ceremonies together, the very stones seemed to sing.
And now, here we are, lifetimes later, and we found each other again. When I first met Roger in this life, I had that same feeling, that sense of coming home to something I'd been searching for.
We don't remember every lifetime, not even every lifetime we share together, but this one burns so bright in both of our memories. We're not just husband and wife. We're ancient soul partners who chose each other across the mists of time.
Sometimes I'll catch Roger looking at me, and I can see the druid priest in his eyes, and he tells me he sees the young priestess in mine, grown wise and powerful.
The sacred groves may be gone, the stone circles may be scattered, but the love we discovered there lives on. It's carried us through lifetimes, brought us back together when the time was right.
To our listeners, we want to ask you, have you ever met someone and felt like you already knew them? Have you ever experienced a love that felt older than your own life?
These connections exist. These soul recognitions happen. If you've experienced something like this, we'd love to hear your story. Share it with us. Share it with others who might need to know they're not alone in these experiences.
Love transcends time, transcends death, transcends the boundaries we think separate one life from another. Trust those moments of recognition. Trust that deep knowing that sometimes comes without explanation.
Thank you for letting us share this deeply personal story with you. Thank you for being part of our Black Cube Productions family.
To our listeners, we want to wish you, may you recognize the ancient loves in your life, and may you trust the wisdom of your soul's memory.
This has been Black Cube Productions 2022. I'm Roger Cluton.
And I'm Cassie Cluton. And we'll see you in the next episode.